this is a quick guide for the Recluse to help you understand how you need to play this class, who it's for, and how to get the most of it. So the Recluse is an advanced class. I would not recommend playing this unless either you are really good at Elden Ring, the base game, or when you played Elden Ring, you pretty much exclusively used magic characters, only used magical abilities, stuff like that. So the Recluse has really low HP. That's the number one thing that, first off, if you are new to the game, you don't want to play Recluse, because unless you think you can do a no-hit run of everything, you don't want to play the Recluse, because when you're lower level in the Recluse during the match, every single thing's going to one-shot you. So as the Recluse, you're going to want to get the upgrades outside of the matches. There's like the gems you put in. Any gem you can get that gives you vigor, you are going to want that, okay? Anything that can increase your HP or decrease the amount of damage you take. Those are the number one most important things to get as the Recluse when you're trying to make it better. Because no matter how good it is, it's kind of hard to play Elden Ring when it's one hit and you're dead no matter what, basically. Okay. So with that out of the way, that's your focus as far as building that stuff. Then, the way that the Recluse works is, if you don't already know, is you cast spells on enemies of any kind, and then afterwards you use your ability, and if they've been hit by one of your spells, it will absorb that spell as like a charge, and that'll restore your FP, and it'll build up charges towards your special attack. After you have 3 charges, then you'll do a special attack. Now, there's like a billion different combos of special attacks that you can get based on what element of magic you hit them with. So if you hit them with a fire spell 3 times and absorb that each time, you're going to have 3 fire charge. You can do a fire spell. And lightning charge is going to be the most basic one, or maybe it's not lightning, it's like arcane, I guess. That's going to be the one you see most commonly because your starting staff just has 2 arcane spells. But that's how you keep your FP up. If you don't know how to do that, you're dead. It's literally the worst class in the game if you don't know how to do that. So if you don't know how to use your special ability, that's like a whole nother thing. It's Y and left trigger or triangle, and L2 on PC. It's the button you hold when you go to, two-handed weapon, and then your special attack button. I don't know what that is on PC. Anyway, so you're gonna do that in order to keep your FP up, and then you can cast. So the main thing is you only get a little bit of FP for doing that, but with your base staff, you'll get like 3 times the amount of FP that you use for your basic glintstone pebble attack. But as you find staves in the game, they're going to use more FP than you absorb back. So you're going to have to, alternate your spells, almost like a recharge phase where you're using weaker spells to get it back. And also, you can kind of get into this position sometimes where the special attack that you used on them, they linger, most of them, not all of them, but they linger. And so you can just sit there if you're low on FP, but you have that special attack. You can cast it on the enemy and then sit there and just spamming the special attack button in order to grab 3 more charges and then put a new one on them and just kind of repeat to get your FP back up if you run low. But if you run completely out of FP, you are totally screwed. So unless you have a gem that makes successive attacks give you FP and then you start using a melee weapon, or if you have starlight shards that you found in the match or something, if you don't have something like that, I think you're just done. Like, I haven't found a way. I tried punching them and then using it. I've tried different things, and maybe I'm missing something, but I couldn't find any way to just get FP back once you're completely out of FP. Maybe there is a way. Maybe someone in the comments will say something, but I couldn't figure it out. But anyway, so then the main meta for the Recluse is more so than like any other class. The Recluse needs to kill bosses during the match, because if you kill like great enemies, they often will drop staves. And the other thing is that there are these towers, the puzzle towers from the Elden Ring, the base game. They'll be found in the match, and if they are convenient to get to at all, you want to go out of your way to get one, just because those are guaranteed to drop a staff. If you do not get a better spell by the end of the match, this class is terrible, okay? Like, you can upgrade it with a smithing stone to level 2, the base staff, and then it's not like the end of the world, but you're such dead weight compared to everyone else, basically. Like, and good luck reviving somebody without some kind of burst like spell that hits multiple attacks at once. You literally can't even revive people in this class, which is another topic worth bringing up. Recluse is terrible for reviving teammates unless you have one of the spells that hits lots of hits in succession. There was like Starlight Comets or something. I can't remember what they were called. I can't remember the names of the spells, but there's ones where it just like brings up a bunch of magic and then it's like do and it just shoots like 10 in a row or something. Those are the only ones you can use to revive people. If you don't have one of those spells, then good. I don't even bother reviving people if they have 2 bars. It's like impossible unless the boss just completely focuses on the other guy for like a solid 30 seconds. There's just no way. And also, there's a boss mechanic in this game I've noticed where if you're reviving a teammate, they will change to you. They know you're doing it, and it'll trigger the boss to come over and try to guard the down guy, basically. That definitely happened. I'd be shocked if that wasn't in the kill, because I've seen it happen enough times. I fully believe that's actually a mechanic at this point. So you need to go around, kill great enemies. You have to go into the towers to get another staff, and ideally for the spells, there's two different ones that bring up a bunch of magic, and then they just hit like a bunch of successive attacks. One's kind of like a darker purple color, and one's like the basic arcane color. Those are the two best ones to find for just overall usage. But there are some good ones. I had one last match where I was like lobbing a big giant arcane ball at the enemy, and the range was a little limited on it. I mean, the range on all these magic spells is kind of limited. But if it hit, it did so much damage. But it wasn't reliable like the ones that lock on. But so there are some variants. Like there's one where you have a carried greatsword that makes like a slash through the air. That one does good damage. But the ones where it just shoots a big burst of a bunch of small attacks, those are kind of the safest. And it's easier to get two of your special attacks to get some of the FP back while casting those. So they're a little bit more sustainable as well. Another big thing about the Recluse is that the Recluse has extended iframes on the dodge. And if you're lucky in a match, you can get some upgrades to it, get even more iframes during it. And if you get that upgrade, it's actually like you can kind of spam it and almost be invincible. So that's like one big upside. The downside is you need that because, like I said before, you're just going to get one-tapped a lot of the time. Even if with a ton of HP, like I just beat the Grimjaw or whatever it was called, the giant, I don't know how to describe it, but I beat the second boss. And on that one, I had so many HP upgrades. I had 3 gems that give vigor. I got an HP upgrade in the actual match, and that thing still almost one-shot me with one of its abilities. And it's like, it's rough. Okay, it's not beginner-friendly in that sense at all. The big upside, though, to playing the Recluse is that you don't need to get near. Now, this is much better when you're playing with a group. When you're playing alone, it's still not bad, but you have to basically just dodge and not get hit like at all, and then wait for them to do a big giant attack, and then follow up with one of your moves, grab some FP back with your special ability, and then keep going. But it's really a class of perfection. Like, you just really got to not get hit because it's so easy to get one shot. And then there's also the ultimate ability. So this one is good and bad. So the ultimate ability, I forget what it's even called. It's like a big red chain looking attack of like magic circle or whatever, and blood something, I can't remember. And what it does is, the number one most important thing about it is it gives you a ton of iframes. You're invincible while using the first like 2/3 of it or something. And so if an enemy has an attack that you're in a position and there is no way out, once you get the muscle memory for it, you'll realize, okay, just use my ult. Screw it. Just use the ult in that scenario. The other thing is, if you're close enough to them when you use the ultimate ability, it'll put this mark on them for like 10 seconds, which makes it so you and your allies are supposed to gain FP and HP when you attack the enemy or enemies that have that mark on them. That's how it's supposed to work. I don't think it gives FP when using magic on it. Maybe it does. I've never paid attention to the details, but I know that's what it does in theory. Okay, so that's what your ultimate does. It's mainly used, in my opinion, for iframes, and then also when you just get a convenient chance to just burst damage something or to help your allies sustain while the melee guys just beat on. This is a very supportive class. If you have 2 melee allies and you can get that on them, they can kind of just all in beat on them. Especially the Duchess can just, because its attack speed so high, can just hopefully sustain and just, you know, fight right through the damage in a sense. It's not quite that simple at all, though, but that's kind of what the ultimate's used for. So that's kind of the Recluse in a nutshell. Getting levels is super important because you need that HP. So if you are like level 8 at the end, you're going to be in big trouble. Keep upgrading gems outside of the matches to try to get vigor, in my opinion, unless you do something really crazy instead. And other than that, it's really just learning the spells. You just got to play the game. When you get a spell, go over to Bonfire. Not Bonfire. They're called Grace. And just use it by the Grace and then run away from the Grace and come back. It'll restore your FP. So whenever you get a new staff, you don't know what it does, just go stand over there and spam them a few times and get a feel for what the heck it does. And then just run away, come back, get your FP back, and then, you know, decide if you want it or not. And then eventually you'll learn all the spells. You'll learn the ones you like, you learn the ones you don't like. Again, this is an advanced class, in my opinion. If you are new to Elden Ring, or if you only played Melee in the Elden Ring base game and you only beat it one time, you probably don't want to start on Recluse because it's going to be hell getting one shot over and over again. If you're an expert, you can get away with it even if you didn't play Magic class just because you're so good at dodging. And if you played exclusively Magic on the base game, then you might be just fine. But you still have to remember, unlike the base game, you can't be a sorceress or whatever with max vigor, you got to get upgrades for that, and even then you're going to have like no defense and no HP compared to the other classes. So hopefully it'll help you guys out. I've been playing the Recluse now for like a whole day and a half. It's pretty fun, but I just want to make a quick guide to help people out. Now hopefully you have a better idea of how to play the Recluse in Elden Ring Nightreign.